Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. In this video I'm going to be featuring the Leica MP, a camera that was recently gifted to me by a friend, and I thought to myself, well, if I'm going to come out and shoot the Leica MP, I may as well go out in style and bring out my Mercedes car just to drive me around to get to the locations that I need to get my photographs. Now with the Leica...
Do you want to get out my car now?
Shit on it. Back to the world of dreams. Right, let's go to my car, get the camera out for Jack. So Jack, I'm going to give you a Nikon F5, and if you're lucky I'll let you have a little play with the Leica MP in a short while. Yeah, I'll stick that. It's got a strap, put that round you because I don't want you dropping that. Right, that's it, that's your Nikon F5. I'll give Jack the Nikon F5. I've got the Leica MP. We're around some woods, so we're going to try and get some nice woodland photography, but this video is not about the Nikon F5. I'm just giving that for Jack to something to do while I'm taking pictures with the MP, and then I'm going to give Jack the MP to take some photographs. Jack is my nephew. He's not a photographer, so it'd be interesting to see what he can come up with, and if he likes the negatives that he's taken photographs of. Likes the scenes that he's taking photographs of. I might even give him a print to take back home to London. Right, Jack, ready?
Yeah, let's do it.
Say hello to people.
Hi guys.
Such a geek. We're going to get a quick cup of coffee. And I'm here with the family. I've got my daughter Jess there, she's eating. This is Jack's wife Amy, and there's my wife Emma. And this man here is going to give us some cup of coffee. See you now. Senna, you got to let Daddy go now because he's got to make a vlog with Uncle Roger. Yes, he has. And you know, when you're older, you can do a vlog with Uncle Roger, but you're too young. Cheers, mate.
That's not another one of those Leica MPs, is it?
That's a Leica MP, yeah.
Oh, is it?
You don't like Leicas?
No, not my cup of tea.
All right, okay, mate. So jokes aside, if you're down Firestone Copse on the Isle of Wight and you want any refreshments, this guy here has got a lovely little coffee van with some refreshments, little chocolate cakes and stuff like that. Right, let's get shooting some photographs. So intentions are, I'll get off this path in a moment, get off the track and get a little bit deeper into the woods where you can find some nice stuff and keep in our minds what I want to make prints of all the time. Let's see how we get on. What do you reckon, Jack?
I've seen your videos, you keep getting lost.
I do. So let's pause the video and show you a little bit around the Leica MP. If you haven't guessed already, I was gifted a Leica MP and a Voigtlander lens as well by a friend, and to say I was blown away would be a complete understatement. I've already opened it, obviously, because you see some of the video, but I'm going to show you how it came packaged to me, how it's inside the box, and then a little overview of the Leica MP camera, and then we'll get back on the video with shooting it down the woods, and I've also shot it a few times on some other scenes as well. I'll show you those scans and a couple of prints that I've made already, but I'm really enjoying this camera. Let's show you what's inside the box. So the lens my friend gave me is an APO Lanthar 50mm aspherical Voigtlander lens. Beautiful, sharp, wonderfully made lens that is. Let's put that to one side for the moment. Here's the box itself, and there's the Leica box underneath. Carefully try and get that out. So that's the Leica MP box there, a silver box. Open it up. So on top is a guarantee and all the information there. And underneath here you've got your operating instructions, which I've already gone through and read most of it, and there's some other little tiny card here. This Leica product was meticulously examined by experienced professionals at several stages of production, and it's all signed up by a couple of people there. That's a little invitation there to Leica. Haha, there's the strap. Now I need to use this strap because I don't want to drop this and I'm not used to holding it yet, so I should imagine at some point I'll probably leave that on. It's only a small thin strap, but they do get on my nerves. And we've got another box in a box in a box. Then we take this one out, and inside there is the machine itself. There's the camera, and that's it. There's no lens on it, obviously. It doesn't come with a lens, and that's the Voigtlander APO Lanthar lens. So it's all quite easy to do. Red dot to red dot, on it goes. The lens is on. When I got this lens, the first thing that I did, because the glass is so close to the edge, is I put a, blow that crap off, put a small lens protector on, little skylight filter like so. Well, my wife actually treated me to a lens hood for it, so I just wanted to protect that lens a little bit more. It's a beautiful camera, and obviously it's only, what, a year old, so it works perfectly well. On top you've got your shutter speeds there. It goes from bulb mode from 1 second all the way to 1,000th of a second. There's your shutter there, there's your advance, and your little tiny screw as well on there for your cable release if you want to do long exposures. There's a rewind on the front like most Leicas, or the other Leica that I've got the other week. That's the rewind for rewinding back your film. And on the back of it, that's where you select your ISO or your speed of the film that you're shooting inside. And the viewfinder through there, it's a rangefinder, 35mm rangefinder camera. Look through there, it is so clean and bright. It makes a change from a lot of my older viewfinder cameras. This one's so big, so bright, and the rangefinder works absolutely fantastically. It works in conjunction with the lens, so as I'm turning the lens I can see the parallaxes coming together inside, and it's so bright it's just hard not to get out of focus. It's so easy to do, so it's pretty much a really easy camera to use. The only thing I find is holding it. I'm slightly getting used to holding it now, but when I first opened it up I was so scared of dropping it because it's not, you know, it's got no grip or nothing like that. I stuck the strap on and kept it like that, but obviously I've left the strap off for now. You've got a couple of LR44 batteries inside there that operate the camera. It's got its own internal meter, and the metering system works flawlessly. You're presented with these little arrows, and once you're correctly exposed you'll be presented with a little tiny red dot which says go on, take your shot. Loading the camera as well is relatively simple. You open the back up, then you put the film inside, just connect it to the take-up spool, and then close the back and wind on. I haven't had any trouble loading film, so that's good news. The lens is absolutely fantastic. It's solidly built, this Voigtlander lens. The focusing barrel there is so smooth. It's just a really nice piece of kit, you know. I can't say anything other than that. But let's get back on with the video, and I'll show you how Jack got on with it, and I'll show you some of the photographs that I've been taking recently using this camera. And from there onwards and upwards, all tickety-boo. So press the shutter halfway. Just don't hit, yeah, just halfway. Can you see the little red triangles at the bottom coming up?
Oh yeah.
Yeah?
Yep.
Where's the triangle at the moment? Have you got a triangle?
Left.
What?
Point me to the left.
It's over towards me, is it?
Yeah.
Okay. So at this point I'd already set the Leica to 1/25th of a second, and I was telling Jack to use the aperture ring to try and get his exposures right. So he just used the aperture ring until the red dot comes up, and then he's good to take his first shot. I also showed Jack how to use the rangefinder inside by bringing the parallaxes together. Yeah.
Well, hold it down.
Yeah, keep holding it down until you get to a red circle.
Yeah, got it now.
Can you see the red circle?
Yeah.
So I've given Jack the Leica now. I've just told him how to use the light meter. Nothing fancy. He's just going to use the aperture ring to get his meter in. So this will be interesting. So there's some light over here, Jack. We'll use some sunlight for us.
Yep, got it.
Is it in focus?
Spot on, yeah.
Then take your shot. Press the button.
Gone now, there it is.
So as much as I thought I'd train Jack on how to use the rangefinder in the camera, obviously my instructions weren't that clear and his photographs came out of focus. But lucky enough, I ended up giving him the F5 to enjoy the rest of the shoot, which I think he found a lot easier. Do you remember that? When he came to see me when he was a little kid, I sent him home with a skinhead. His mum went mad. I gave him tram lines and everything. God, that was fun. Oh, we found a family. Stop there. So just swap cameras. I'm giving Jack the F5. I'm going to do the last few shots on the Leica. So I've set this to automatic priority, aperture priority. So it's a f2.8. You don't know what I'm talking about, but just look through there. Get your focus in.
What?
If you press it halfway down.
This way?
Yeah, look at the camera, Jess. Press it halfway down and it will focus. Feel that?
Yeah.
Is that better for you?
Yeah.
Now take a picture.
Oh.
There you go. So looking at those photographs that Jack took on the Nikon F5 with a 50mm lens, it's obvious that he found that camera much easier to use, and I'm not surprised because the focusing system on the F5 of course is a lot easier than a rangefinder if you're not used to it. If there's one thing I haven't quite sussed with this camera yet, and that's composing my shots through the rangefinder. It's something that I've got to get used to. When I look through the viewfinder, I can also see in the bottom right hand corner of the frame is the lens. The end of the lens I can see poking out. It's possibly the lens hood that I've got on there, which is protruding out a bit more, but I need to just get used to composing it a bit more, and that's what I'm gonna hopefully be working on in the next coming weeks with this camera, is trying to get used to composing my shots, getting them exactly as I vision them for when I make my prints. What is that on your hands and on your phone? What have you done, Jack?
It's the cake. I left the cake in the pocket.
You put a cake in your pocket? Who does that? Why would you put a cake in your pocket?
It's like it ain't on the camera yet.
It's got the right hump. How'd you find you shooting this?
Yeah, it was alright. I got used to it.
Yeah?
Yeah, picked it up quite quick.
Anything hard about shooting it, or?
Yeah, finding the range.
Finding the focus.
Finding the focus.
Yeah, it can be a bit tricky. That's what Jacob had struggles with, but this is much brighter rangefinder than the 3F that Jacob had the other day. But it can be. I think it's just getting used to it, and even I'm not used to it, so I'm still trying to get used to it myself. What do you think of the weight of the camera and the feel of it in your hands and stuff?
Oh, that was alright, yeah. This one's heavier, isn't it?
That one's a beast, yeah. So what I showed you there was some DSLR scans of the films that I've ran through the Leica so far. Also one particular set was my very first time shooting the Leica. I had no problems at all, the meter worked fine, got the focus in okay. Like I said, the only thing was composing, but that's going to take a little bit of time to get used to. I've been in the darkroom, I'll show you a couple of the prints that I've made. That's one of the cars here. Don't know what American car it was, but I took the camera to a car show. And another one there, that one's a little bit light. I could have carried on, but then I would have lost the detail in the middle of the print. I could have easily dodged that and burned the rest of it in, but I like it anyway, so that's another one. And then I went on to some bigger paper. This is, what, 16 by 12 paper. There's a big ass American car there. And I do like my cars. A little tiny bit of dodging around this area here. I didn't manage to get the wheel in, but I still like it. All this is where I'm looking. I still like the photograph and the print. Then there was the Jaguar E-Type interior when I was trying to get some shots inside, and just had to do a little tiny, this was a contrast zero filter just so I could pull in the chrome on the steering wheel, and it slowly built up the blacks in the background, but I still needed to do a little tiny bit of dodging in between the steering wheel and on some of the instruments on the panel, but that one's come out really nice as well. And last of the cars was the Cadillac. I purposely framed, you know, this is me still trying to learn how to compose through this camera. Framing the Cadillac sign to the left and then getting this nice white line coming up at the bottom of the frame here. And in the print, or in the dark room when I was making the print, I just did a little tiny bit of vignetting over this side so, you know, your eye's more drawn to the Cadillac sign. So another shot that I like. And this one was looking up at the trees. I was just staring up and this little bird went across and I thought, wow, that's where I want to take the shot. But I was in 30th of a second, which is why the trees are a little tiny bit, got a bit of motion blur. But I don't mind, that's what trees do in the wind, you know, they move. So that picture shows a little tiny bit of motion blur in its natural way. And the last one that I liked was the tree where the sunlight, I think that's the right way around, yeah, where the sunlight was just hitting this tree. And that's where I metered for with the camera. The little tiny circle came up, I took the shot, and that's come out really nice as well. And as for the camera itself, so this is in fact my second Leica. The other Leica, the 3F, the 1950s one, which is fantastic to shoot. That was sent to me a few weeks ago, and this one has recently been sent to me. So I'm really looking forward to more of my ventures in the future using this Leica. And of course, I love all my cameras. They've all got their own different look, different lenses, and they all do their own different things. So I love shooting all of my cameras. This one I'm looking forward to getting to grips with more in the future. And it is just a beautiful piece of machinery. I can understand why people are so addicted to Leicas. It doesn't go to say that they're snobs or anything like that. It just means that they like that particular brand and that's what they like shooting, that's what they like collecting. So, you know, each and every one to their own. So I'm certainly going to enjoy shooting that more in the future. And I'm going to enjoy shooting this little bad boy that was kindly sent to me by one of the Instagrammers, Fisher Price. He's given me a challenge to see what I can get out of it. So I'm looking forward to shooting that little bad boy at some point in the future. But anyway, guys, hope you enjoyed the video. It's always interesting to see a novice coming through and taking photographs and seeing what they get. And I think Jack did really well with the F5, showing back the focusing on the Leica, but that was probably my fault. Sorry, Jack, if you're watching, you're probably not. But anyway, guys, thanks very much for watching. As usual, thanks to everyone that supports the channel. Special thanks to my friend that sent me the Leica, and I'll catch you next time.